It's time to get up with Houston. Hello. We'll tell you whether the Rockets' recovery last night was a bad night or a bad sign for the Lakers. Meanwhile, the move of the draft came at lucky number 13. Once and for all, we will tell you why the Rams got it right. And criticism of one team's draft came from inside the house. Wait till you hear how their new coach handled that. All that and more as we get up with you right now. Here we go. We're back and ready to roll. Brandon's got a Jet hat on, so I got a sense he was happy. We got lots of draft today. We got Danny, we got Triggs, we got D-Wood. But we start with the hoops. Alan is up. Monica McNutt is up. Shump will be along with us as well. And if you went to bed early last night, you missed the Lakers and Rockets with LeBron and company a chance to put this one away in Game 4. And they had at least one advantage coming off the overtime win of 2 nights earlier. Kevin Durant out again with the left ankle. Second quarter, this was a theme. LeBron turning it over, and the Rockets going the other way. Rockets an 8-point early lead. LeBron 8 turnovers in this game. Here's another of them. Rockets going the other way, and it's Shepherd. Rockets an 11-point advantage.
Yeah, LeBron said there were just too many pick sixes in this game. The turnovers were a big story. He had 8 of them.
Early in the third quarter, Rockets lead is 11. LeBron, no, stay with the play. Rockets pushing. Shepherd, if you're going to give him space, he's going to knock it in your face.
He's going to take them, too, and they needed that. They needed balanced scoring without Kevin Durant, and that's exactly what they got. Everybody with 15 or more points in the starting 5.
Now, Lakers down 18. That's the 23 turnovers the Lakers had last night. Here's Şengün plus the free throw. He had 19 and 6. Rockets by 21. Next Houston possession. Şengün working on DeAndre Ayton. Fouled hard. Take a look. This winds up being called a flagrant 2 and an ejection.
Yeah, it seems a bit extreme because there didn't look like there was intent, but there was head contact. KD waving bye-bye. KD, get your sneakers because your team needs you.
They need him bad in Game 5, which there will be. Lakers down by 20. They just sort of mailed in the second half. LeBron would finish with 10 points, 2 of 9 from the floor. Didn't make a 3. The 8 turnovers we talked about, and the Rockets will live to fight another night, and that night will be Wednesday in Los Angeles. The field goals, just 2, tying the fewest that LeBron has ever made in a playoff game in his career. Fewest made shots in any game since Game 5 of the 2014 Conference Finals against the Pacers. Here was LeBron when it was done.
Yeah, obviously, we know coming into the series, we have to protect the ball versus them, not have too many pick sixes, which we did all night. And I mean, it started with me, obviously. My turnover was unacceptable, but you know, we do a better job with that on Wednesday. We understand that offensive rebounds for them and pick sixes is not going to be good for our ball club.
All right, we'll have Monica McNutt with us in a second, having a little trouble with her audio. But when you and I were talking this morning, you called this game sort of a snow day for LeBron and the Lakers.
Oh, now I do. Okay.
If you could have load management in the playoffs, I think that's what it would look like.
Right.
LeBron James in the first 3 games of this series, averaging 41 minutes a game. He had an outstanding Game 3 in overtime, made huge plays down the stretch. He was also averaging 19 shots a game. He only took 9 in this one. So it just kind of shows you that while he was, of course, still on the court, physically still there, you saw him running offense from the top and not really engaging much in it after that. He was playing point guard. You see him taking some of these kind of hero ball threes later on in the game. But early on, you can see that this wasn't going to be a game where he was going to throttle down. And I think it's important that he does this because you get 2 days off. Game 5 is Wednesday. He has given you everything you need to win this series by Wednesday in 5.
Exactly right. When you get a 3-0 lead, this is the luxury that you afford yourself.
This is how you get the gentleman's
with
sweep.
that 4th game on the road,
Yep.
is not to have to use up your 41-year-old superstar 2 nights after he did it for them in a huge way on Friday night. Monica, so if you look at it, we'll ask the traditional get-up question. Was that a bad game or a bad sign you thought for the Lakers and LeBron?
I think it was mostly just a bad game. Greeny, it is so hard to replicate the urgency that a team actually facing elimination has to deal with. And that is the case in this one. I mean, between the series potentially being over, between the things that Ime Udoka had to say post-game after Game 3, like it was this young Rockets opportunity to show that they could respond. They forced 30 points off of turnovers. They share the ball. They play with tremendous energy. Like, this is where youth was on their side. Unfortunately, though, and I will add this, the three-point line, we're seeing this across NBA series, but the three-point line in this one was important as well, 40% compared to 22% of Rockets versus Lakers. I will say, though, I still think this team is not exactly poised to mount a historic comeback.
No, especially if Durant is A, not playing, or B, playing but severely compromised.
Yeah, he has the bruised knee, which was before the series even started, which really leveled the playing field in this series, which felt like it was tilted because of no Luka and no Reeves. But that, and then he has the ankle injury. So those two things have kept him out the last couple of games. And while he's getting round-the-clock treatment, trying to get himself available in this series, to not be able to play in any of the home games, that really tells you just how injured he is. So, an idea of coming back down 0-3, you can't see it. This was for the Rockets. You had to show up in your last home game. You had to make sure you didn't get swept. Yeah. That's what they did. Şengün had a great game. He spoke up for his team. But in the end, for the Lakers, 2 days off, get LeBron a little more rest. I think this series is over Wednesday.
So do I. And Monica, just a quick final thought here. Austin Reeves might return for Game 5. For those of you not paying attention to it over the weekend, he was upgraded from we're never going to see him again to all of a sudden he's questionable for these games over the weekend, right? I mean, that's sort of the way it felt. It was like, oh, we had forgotten about Austin Reeves. Maybe Luka comes back. To all of a sudden you snap your fingers and Austin Reeves is listed as questionable. So the expectation that maybe he's back Game 5, things I think continue to point the Lakers' way despite what was a sloppy night last night.
Yeah, I agree, but Greeny, let's all keep it honest, right? The big thing is, are they going to be alive long enough for Luka to return for them to have a real chance if they advance to the second round? So I'm glad to hear this about Austin Reeves, but I think when you look at the opponents that are looming next, Luka is the guy you need to see get back on the floor.
For sure. And the opponent that's looming next is going to be OKC, which is, if you watch them play at this point, it's like running into a buzzsaw. It may not make a whole lot of difference who's available for the Lakers. Much more on the hoops as we go, but let's wrap up the NFL draft. It is in the books, and it's time for some opening statements from my crew on what we saw over the weekend. Peter Schrager, we'll start with you. Give me your opening statement on the 2026 NFL Draft.
The Kansas City Chiefs made the loudest statement heard around the league this weekend. With all the speculation on will they take a wideout, will they take a tight end, they trade up to get Mansour Delane, and then they go defense, 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 defense with their first 4 picks, getting a corner, a defensive tackle, an edge and a speed edge, and R. Mason Thomas out of Oklahoma, and then getting a guy that they've compared to the Honey Badger-like qualities, Jadon Kennedy out of Oregon. To do all this and not address offensive line, tight end, or wide receiver in a world where they got to get Mahomes' help, it's a statement that they believe they've got the offensive bodies in-house. It was defense that was holding them back last year.
Did you like how they handled that? It was notably pointed in that direction. Did you think that was the right direction?
Yeah, I like that they were aggressive to go get Delane. They're obviously banking on Kenneth Walker, their free agent addition at running back, to be the guy we saw in the last 6 games. Last 6 games last year, 125 touches, over 770 yards. I think if they get that player because of all that defensive re-establishment or added pieces, this is going to be a team that, as long as Patrick's healthy, is right back where we expect them to be.
All right, let's give me another one here. D. Wood, give me an opening statement from the now concluded 2026 NFL Draft.
Yeah, I love what the Las Vegas Raiders did in this draft, in which obviously we know Fernando Mendoza was the number 1 pick. They got that quarterback of the future. But when you talk about the Raiders, I love how they focus on the defensive secondary. You play in the AFC